Good evening and welcome to Roger's Blue Suede News. We'll be reviewing the good, the bad and the utterly stupid of the last 7 days. Let me bring the guests onto the show. We have Alex English, we have Maggy Whitehouse, and we have Al Grant, also known as Lord Sparkles. So I'm going to get my guests to introduce themselves. So let's start with Lord Sparkles.
Hi, I'm Lord Sparkles, and I would like to tell you something. I also do comedy, not just balloons. Move on.
Okay. Let's go to Alex English. Yeah, I think you're muted, Alex.
She's a professional mime artist. There's a baby, there's some waves, and she wants to have something to eat.
Your mic's muted. I'll tell you what, why are you sorting your mic? Oh, you're on now. No, you're not.
She isn't.
No, she isn't.
So, your mic's showing us okay, but we can't hear you, Alex. Let's ask Maggy to introduce herself while...
Oh. Yeah, okay. Hello, I'm Maggy. I'm the original vicar of Dibley, though slightly younger. And I live on Dartmoor, and I'm the kind of vicar who goes around raising money for the new church roof while carrying a loaded shotgun. Works.
Thank you very much. Alex, can we hear you now? No? Have you got your headphones plugged in? That's your mic muted.
Oh, this is not great.
Oh, that's it. We can hear you now.
Okay.
Alex, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm not a comedian, although my start was kind of a bit of a. Anyway, I'm a gig reviewer at Planet Marsh, and life is not very exciting at the moment because there isn't much gigs to go to. Did you get?
Fair enough.
Am I coming through loud?
Yes, we got that.
Most of it.
You're coming through fine. So we have a viewer, Dave Perry, saying hi. Hi, Dave. Nice of you to join us. If anyone else is watching us, feel free to say hello. It'd be great to hear from you and join in with your comments during the show. Moving on to the first round.
What's the story? Morning glory.
In this round, we have a Blue Suede News story of the week. And that story of this week is... It's a story of out with the old and in with the new. It's the new president of the United States. So, Al, do you have any views on this?
Yes. It was out with the old, in with the even older, senile, decrepit. It was fantastic when I saw him walk into that sacred hall saying, "Salute the Marines," because he was fed that through his earpiece rather than just doing that, which was very, very amusing. I like the fact that he has gone and repealed so many of Mr. Trump's amazing achievements, but I'm sure we'll go on to those later. And I'm looking forward to when Biden starting extra wars, all the wars that he didn't finish doing whilst he was vice president. I do not like the man. There you go. I hate him.
Okay. Maggie, have you got any views on President Biden's inauguration?
Well, I watched Fox News today because I thought it would be a good idea to see what people like Lord Sparkles were saying about Joe Biden. And I just thought it was so funny because there was a press conference in which the Fox News reporter had said yesterday, don't you think rolling out 100,000 vaccinations a day is a bit poor? You need to do better. And today Biden said to him, he said, something else, and Biden said to me, "Give me a break." So the whole of Fox News was saying Biden already needs a break. He's too old. And I just thought, Jesus wept. I used to work for the BBC years ago, and I swear to God, we used to be better than that. I don't know if we are anymore, but we used to be.
Yeah. Alex, have you got any views on President Biden?
Well, Biden there looks like he's given like a secret message, like of a how to the Mexican Indians. So does that mean he's going to undo Trump's wall and like start knocking it down as part of one of his 15 policies that he's already instigated as part of his new orders?
So
It's
it's
going
funny.
to be a kind of future, isn't it, where a new president just takes down all the previous president's
Yeah.
executive order. It's going to be just like the X Factor, really.
Yeah, it's one of those things which Trump will be remembered about is the wall. And his relationship with the Mexican border. Now, I don't like to, make too many jokes on it in case someone takes offence to it. But
Call yourself a comedian.
but I actually think some of the fence they put up is a good idea because it's enabled people to do this.
Yes. I love
Attach
that.
pink seesaws to it. So people on either side of the fence can play with each other.
Ding
This-
ding.
This is an installation by Ronald Rail and Virginia Sanfratello at the Anapra zone in, you can tell I can pronounce words well here, Ciudad Juarez in Mexico.
And
They
they're
called it-
adhering to social distancing as well.
And they called it the Tita Tota Wall. It's actually won an award. It's won the 2020 Beasley Design of the Year award, which is run by the London's Design Museum. So I think that's one good thing he's done, right? Putting this fence in to enable people to put pink seesaws on it. But with Biden coming in, one of the first things he did is made Greta happy. He's rejoined the Global Climate Accord, and he's also reversed Trump's decision to withdraw from the WHO. So he's changing a lot in his first few days. Has
Well,
anyone
he's
else got
all
anything
right.
about?
to play
Take it,
with-
yeah.
I think on a poll on the internet, I think Biden's done a lot more in his first few days as president than his presiding presidents, with the fact that he's done 15 major changes, whereas his previous presidents, they did a lot less.
Okay.
Well, I closed a petition on Whitehouse.com. So before you could actually put in a submission. If it got over 100,000 likes, in effect, then it was talked about in the White House, considered. Pretty much like what we've got with our thing. So he's actually removed that one. So he doesn't want to listen to the people. And it looked like we just entered Gilead when they went through that entire thing. It was just like watching an unfunny version of The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood.
So, anyway, shall we move on to our second round? Are you ready?
Yes.
Any more pink things to run?
In this round, I'll present a story to each of our panellists. All they have to tell me is it fact or is it fake? So, who shall go to first? Oh, I know. Let's go to Maggie first.
Thought you might.
This is a new smart pillow that has been launched by Dozy Cozy. It is called the Air Cozy Interactive Smart Pillow. The pillow automatically adjusts its height to the perfect level to give you the best posture while sleeping. You can also set it to play music via Bluetooth or stream white noise.
I think that's horribly true. I think it's true. I think it's true.
So you think there's a pillow called the Air Cozy made by Dozy Cozy and it's a smart pillow.
Listen, I am the person who got suckered into buying a squatty potty. I believe anything.
Shall we see whether you're right or not? It is a fact. Well done, Maggie.
Well, as a reward for winning that round, I will not show you my squatty potty.
That's good. I won't give you any points either, because points on this show mean sod all.
Oh,
So it's amazed me how competitive this show gets when there isn't an overall winner judged by points. So it's quite funny. I mean, we'll see that on Pratt of the Week, I'm sure. Okay, second story. Who shall we go to for the second story? I think we'll give this one to Alex. The latest event to be cancelled by the coronavirus is the Testicle Eating Festival in Deerfield, Michigan. The festival normally attracts 2,000 guests who can spend up to 12 hours a day eating deep-fried testicles.
Whose testicles or what testicles are they eating?
I believe it's cow testicles.
not cat.
Well, cows don't have testicles. That's bollocks.
Oh,
Bollocks.
balls then. Okay, balls.
This sounds like a story that is bulls. So I'm going to say it's fake.
You're going to say there isn't. Well, the latest event to be cancelled. The Testicle Eating Festival is a fake news story. Shall we see whether you're right or not? It's true. Oddly enough, I wrote the script for this show a couple of days ago. I included this story. And today I saw on the BBC website that another food festival's been cancelled. And this is the Dorset Knob Throwing and Frome Valley Food Festival.
Well, you really took the bull by the horns on that one, Roger.
Yeah. On the Knob Throwing Festival.
Are we on about like
Right.
the butter?
No, we're on about a traditional biscuit from the county of Dorset. They have a biscuit called a knob. And they used to have this festival where people would throw knobs and see who can throw their knob the furthest.
Yeah, well, it's not so far removed from Hobnob, is it?
So if I hadn't seen that story today, that probably would have made it onto this faking it round. So that just leaves us with Lord Sparkles. Shall we see what we've got lined up for you, Lord Sparkles?
Yes, please.
This is the story of the plinth in Bristol where the statue of Edward Colston was torn down and thrown into the harbour is going to be repurposed with a statue of Sir Bernard Lovell, the physicist who was born in Bristol and sadly passed away in 2012, is best known for his work on the radio telescope at Jodrell Bank.
Sir, what?
Sir Bernard Lovell. The Lovell telescope is actually Jodrell Bank, the big radio telescope.
Where is that located?
It's not far from Manchester.
Manchester, city of clear skies.
Well, it's a radio telescope, so it doesn't need clear skies.
Is it Radio 4?
Yeah, the telescope is on the plinth next to him on this. I should say this is a mock-up of what it'll look like, the new statue.
Okay, well, if that is Bristol's most famous luminary, I don't think that is actually, but I'm going to go and say, yeah, that is going to be a fact. Even though I thought it was actually going to be pigeonholed for St Kelson instead. So, yeah, okay. I'm going to go for that one.
I made it.
Oh, you got me!
Why has he had his knees cut off? Has he been kneecapped?
It's because it was the only photo I could find of him that I could Photoshop in.
Oh, right.
I do really bad Photoshopping.
No, I think you do very, very good amusing Photoshopping, actually.
So
going to
Jessups. That's the end of Fact or Fake. Let's So, we've had a comment from Dave Perry, who says, I think he's referring to the testicle eating festival.
I think
Or
we
he could
call
be
them
talking about the knob
sweetbreads.
throwing.
I think we call them sweetbreads in polite society.
Right, most people call them bollocks. So, anyway, I can't believe that. I'd get told off by my mum saying bollocks to a vicar.
Well, if you go around saying ox bowls, that sort of sums it up nicely, because you can just say, well, it's parties that oxen go to.
Fair enough. So, anyway, I should mention at this point, this show's going out on Facebook and YouTube, and if anyone's watching, please comment and please play along with the show.
Oops.
If you're watching on YouTube and you're not currently a subscriber, please click the subscribe button. And if you're watching on Facebook, please like my comedians page, which is The Roger Poulter. And it's a pleasure to have you watching the show. Let's move to the next round. If I get it right, I nearly pressed the wrong button there.
Prat of the week.
This is where each of our guests have nominated a Prat of the Week for the Roger Blue Suede News Prat of the Week contest. Shall we see who the first Prat is? The first Prat is Russell Jones. And it's over to Alex English to explain in 45 seconds why he's her Prat of the Week. Your 45 seconds starts now.
Well, Russell Jones is my Prat of the Week, although I didn't know whether it should be Russell or his dog that should be Prat of the Week. Russell, who had his leg in a plaster cast, was left unable to walk for his concerned pet. It turns out his pet started limping, and Russell, being the concerned owner, took the dog to the vet and ended up paying £300 in vet's fees and x-rays to figure out why his canine was limping. And it turned out in the end there was nothing wrong with his dog, but it was a heartwarming response from his dog who was mimicking him limping.
That's your 45 seconds up. So basically what you're saying is that his dog mimicked him limping.
His dog
do
mimicked him limping, and yeah, it cost him £300, so the dog was a bit of a pro.
Does everyone want to see the dog limping?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Fantastic. Well, I don't think there's much more to say on that one. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, you could see the dog had a definite limp. So I bet the vet was laughing. Not actually having to do anything, just charging the owner £300 for telling him he's got a daft dog.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we see who the next Prat of the Week is? This is Ellie Huddleston, who is Maggy Whitehouse's Prat of the Week. Maggie, you've got 45 seconds to explain why, starting now.
Ellie, who probably voted for Brexit, tried to buy some new clothing from Ireland, Southern Ireland, and then was totally surprised when she was asked to pay customs duties for this stuff because the United Kingdom is no longer in the economic union. And if Ellie had any sense whatsoever, or had ever been a vicar or a female vicar who has to order clothing from America because the UK hasn't got round to doing clothes that actually go in and out the way a female is shaped, she would know that customs duties are payable from countries outside economic Union. And we are now out of Europe, therefore we have to pay bloody customs bills. And really going around saying, oh, this isn't what I voted for. Yes, this is. It's exactly what you voted for, you pillock. End of.
Yeah, I've got one thing to say to Ellie, is why didn't you buy British, you dozy prat? So I did see another story today along a similar vein, in that people who've ordered off UK clothing companies from Europe and have tried to return the clothes, those clothes have got held up at customs because they need duty paying on them to bring them back into the country.
Yep.
And the people who sold the clothes, it's cheaper for them to actually instruct the couriers who are bringing these clothes back to them to burn the clothes than pay the duty.
Yep.
Which just seems totally silly, really. You think they'd give them to the needy in the continent, so hopefully that will happen, but we'll see. Right, so that's Ellie Huddleston. There's only one more Prat of the Week, and this is by Lord Sparkles. It is the Holderness Academy in Hull. Lord Sparkles, you've got 45 seconds to explain why now.
Lazy art department teachers. How do you draw an owl? Well, first of all, when you download the instructions, you have to draw 2 circles. Instruction 2. Draw the rest of the fucking owl. This is for year 7s, if you know what those are. I think they're about 12 years old. And it's a case of, well, you've got to make sure that you've... They found it entertaining anyway. There you go. There's the rest of the fucking owl. Hope you enjoy that. Oh, have I run out of time?
Shall we have a look at what the instructions that were sent out as part of the children's homework? I think Lord Sparkles has explained it pretty accurately, but these are the actual instructions.
I forgot to put the long-eared on my owl. I do apologise.
That's a fronted adverbial owl, that is.
I have an owl that I painted myself before.
Can we have a closer look? Because at the present moment it looks like a badger.
That's pretty impressive, actually. Well done, you.
So, Dave Berry had commented earlier, has now moved over to YouTube and is commenting on YouTube.
Hey.
So, I should say later in the show, we have a round called The Good, the Bad and the Utterly Stupid. And during that round, we'll discuss stories. I've lined some stories up. I've had a story suggested from one of our guests. But if anyone watching the show would like to suggest a story for us to discuss, please comment it, put it in the comments, and we'll see if we get time to discuss it. Anyway, moving on, we're still on Prat of the Week. I need to judge who the Prat of the Week is. So, is it
Ellie.
Russell Jones? Is it Ellie?
Russell Jones.
Or is it Holderness Academy?
I'm going for the Academy, and I voted for Ellie.
Now, thing is, I love the Russell Jones story, but I don't think he's a prat. Anyone who cares for their dog, seeing their dog limp like that, would think there's something wrong and would take it to the vet. Right?
No, I said the dog was the prat.
Yeah, but the dog was just being a dog. He's man's best friend.
Let's hope Russell's not up to naughty behaviour then, or the dog might start mimicking him.
Yeah, so...
Can we have a close-up to see if the dog's got the equipment to start mimicking that?
No, I've not prepared a close-up, Maggie. I do apologise.
Okay.
So, I could go back to the picture of the testicles earlier in the show if you want.
Oh, feel free. I'm quite happy with that.
Sweetbreads.
I didn't insinuate it was anything rude. I just said he could start mimicking him doing other things.
Oh, come on. It's a comedy show after 9 o'clock at night. Of course we're going to go into things that are rude.
So, anyway, Ellie Huddleston. She ordered some clothes from Europe and then had to pay duty on them. Well, it serves her up for ordering them from Europe. Yes, she's a bit of a prat, but the Holderness Academy, a teacher being that lazy, setting homework. What shall I set him? I'll set him a task to draw an owl and download the instructions of how to draw an owl off the internet and obviously not look at what he's sending out to his pupils.
It is brilliant. I'll give you that. I'd vote for that one. It's amazing.
I'm afraid I've got to give it to the Holderness Academy in Hull.
You have.
So it reminds me of it.
Yes.
But believe it or not, I used to live in Hull, and I always remember a bit of toilet graffiti in Hull. Toilet graffiti is always normally quite bold, but this summed Hull up perfectly. It said in this toilet, Hull was one letter away from hell.
Did you know I am named after toilet graffiti?
Maggie.
Really?
Yeah,
Of course.
Maggy, not IE. My dad saw it on the back of the lavatory in Towyn, Merioneth, and thought, what a pretty spelling, and named his daughter after the writing on the back of a lavatory. And I think in Welsh, it probably means now wash your hands.
While singing happy birthday twice. So, let's... I enjoyed Pratt of the Week, I've got to say. Let's move on to our next round.
The good, the bad, and the utterly stupid.
In this round, we discuss the good, the bad, and the utterly stupid from the last 7 days. Now, our viewers can comment some stories. Oh, I should say, we've been joined by Ishi. Ishi says hi. Nice of you to join us, Ishi. Great to have you on the show. Right, I do invite the viewers to suggest stories for this round. As per usual, we haven't had many stories suggested yet. But we'll keep an eye on the comments, and if anyone wants to discuss a story, we'll do. But I thought I'd introduce the first story, which is this one. Last Monday was the 3rd Monday of January and is known as the most miserable Monday of the year. Right? But what gets me, it'd be the most miserable Monday of a normal year. We are not in a normal year. We're in the second year of an absolute crap year where you can't do anything. You have to stay at home and just drink beer. I don't know if that's bad or not, but it's basically, I think, during lockdown, pretty much every day is a miserable day. So I'm just going to ask my guests in turn, is there any way I can cheer myself up? So let's go to Maggie first.
Absolutely. Get paid for doing funerals. That's the only thing that could possibly cheer you up during this kind of year. Whenever I meet somebody who's ill, I just sort of quietly make friends with them in the hope that I can get to do their funeral later. It's called a pension.
Can I just ask you, have you ever buried someone in the wrong hole?
No, because usually they only dig one hole at a time. But I have done a funeral where they were expecting to bury the person, but nobody dug the hole. So we were standing there in the pouring rain, and they dug a little hole for a cremation box because they thought the person had already been cremated.
Oh
so
dear. So
everybody else went home, and I had to stand there in the pouring rain while the gravedigger came and dug the hole.
was that a bit of a grave mistake then?
It was a bit of a grave mistake, yes. Afterwards, the funeral director was sitting on the kitchen table at the wake, and he said, Oh God, it's terrible, it's terrible. I said, never mind, the deceased wouldn't have minded, they would have understood. And he said, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. And the truth of the matter was, the dead person would have fucking killed him.
Let's go to Alex and ask Alex how I should cheer myself up during lockdown?
What, cheer yourself up during Blue Monday? Now, if the media had presented to you and said the third Monday in January is the happiest day of the year, would you buy into it?
No.
Because you've bought into Blue Monday, because that is something that has been created by the media for the last 15 years, and it's been posted out and we've all bought into it. And I think it comes from the fact that, yeah, we all know we've spent too much money at Christmas, we've eaten too much, we're a bit overweight, and now it's like the third Monday, we're a week off payday, and that's why we're feeling depressed. So if you buy into something, then you're going to feel fed up about it. Personally, I've never really got down on Blue Monday. I'm like, why?
Maybe what they ought to do, I mean, it's a bit like, they could make Blue Monday a bit like Black Friday, a day when things get discounted. It could discount things like chocolate. Right?
I heard it was the day that your credit card statement came in from Christmas.
That's probably where it came from.
Probably is,
Maggy.
yeah.
It is probably from something like that that's been put out in media for us to brainwash us and to draw us into this sad belief. But Roger,
You've obviously never done Christmas on a credit card, Alex.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's ask Lord Sparkles how I should cheer myself up during lockdown.
Well, Blue Monday was actually a marketing campaign to try and get people to spend more money. But because of being Blue Monday this week, something else happened yesterday. Do you know what happened yesterday? Something to look forward to.
It was the 21st of the 21st year of the 21st century.
Not this one! Not this one! No!
See,
that
something
is
to look forward to.
Christian calendar. Only the Christian. It's year 5,000 and something in Islam.
Augustus from Julius Caesar, who invented the calendar after stealing it from the Egyptians.
No, we're Gregorian now. That was Julian.
Yeah.
But it's still year 577 for Judaism and 4,033 for Islam. And the cosmos doesn't give
the other way around.
Whatever.
The other way around.
Thank you. You're quite right. You're quite right. But this one's been following me around on Facebook all day. It's been driving me crazy because this is a human construct on the universe. The universe doesn't give a toss.
You're in a lovely
Please do finish.
You are in a lovely human construct of a room by the looks of it.
I am.
And it's with a lovely angel behind you.
Yes.
Of your left shoulder.
Yep.
And we have the devil to the left on the screen.
Oh.
Who's the devil? Right. Me?
Yeah, it's you.
Mr. Sparkles.
If he was as easy to deal with as you.
I'm not a devil. I'm a fallen angel, just like Christopher Morningstar. I'm misunderstood.
Okay,
anyway,
that's great.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, Lord Sparkles. Please finish your story. I will get over my ill-mannered rejection of your story and listen to you calmly and peacefully.
Oh, no, just enjoy yourself. That's what we're here for.
Mr. Sparkles, can I just ask you?
if you want to...
Lord Sparkles, please.
You missed two items off your list. You missed 21 minutes past 21st hour.
Yeah, 9 o'clock. But I thought, you could. I thought it was a little bit redundant. What with it being yesterday, and you could do that in 21 seconds on top of that as well. But it doesn't matter.
Caesar came
that
up with
is
that one,
genuinely all in the human constructed past. It's fine.
Yep.
So the other things. How can you cheer you up? Loads of different things. You can hang out with your friends virtually, drink beer virtually, or actually really, I don't know. But you can actually drink with there you go. That's real beer. Wow, it's amazing.
Cheers, Roger.
Cheers.
Chin chin. Chin chin.
Enjoy it.
Cheers.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Yeah, I'll drink my Balthazar bottle of champagne.
I think based on this story, we'll just have this moment to hug the cuddly toys if you've got one near you. I think it's time to hug a cuddly toy because it's been Blue Monday and so. Do you want to introduce your cuddly toys? Mine's Sock Puppet.
Hello, Sock Puppet.
Hello, soft puppet.
Hello, soft puppet.
Mine's a little red devil that my friend sent me from Germany as a care package, which was really nice to receive. A nice gift from my friend.
Christopher Morningstar, excellent.
Maggie, has yours got a name?
Mine's just called the Cub, but he's a laughing lion. He cheers
Fantastic.
me up when nobody laughs.
And Lord Sparkles.
This is Alfred.
Fair enough. Nice to meet you, Alfred. So we had a comment off Ishi during the
Oh, I
Hull
like
story. The road to Hull is a straight one, and it is a very straight road if you've ever driven to Hull. The A63. I mean, Hull's one of those places where you could quite easily build a wall round it and cut it off from the rest of the country because there's really one main road in and one railway line in. So
And a massive port.
and a massive port.
But can you play seesaw on it?
Well, the waves are quite seesawy.
Do you know, as locals in Yorkshire call the M62 the road to hell, the road to nowhere, which leads to Hull?
Anyway, we've had a story in from one of our viewers. Ishi says, the inauguration fashion. Bernie Sanders made a fashion statement by being cosy and casual at the inauguration. What would the panel wear at inauguration? What did they wear on Wednesday? Let's start with Lord Sparkles first.
This? I'd wear this. No pants, no trousers, maybe some socks. I don't know about that. But definitely the lovely gold shirt. And you can't actually see that because of the little thing underneath me.
Fair enough. Maggie?
Oh, I love those pictures of Bernie Saunders. I actually went to Google Images today to look at all the memes of Bernie Saunders and where he turned up in Star Wars or different planets and all sorts of things. That was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. I'd have to wear the business suit for an inauguration, but if I weren't a vicar, I'd wear what I've worn every single bloody day since last March, which is jeans, sweatshirt, and a scarf and slippers.
Alex, what would you have worn?
I would wear a sequin sparkly dress because it's inauguration after all, so you've got to look the biz, and a great big face mask, of course. And I've got this question which is going to make me sound really dumb, but who is Bernie Sanders and where has he come from? I've seen all the memes.
Bernie
So
Sanders
please
is a politician from Vermont who has some fantastic ideas. He wanted to have Obamacare because he basically said, you pay tax. Yeah, fantastic. Is it? I'll just say it anyway. So Bernie Sanders says, you pay tax. You pay your insurance tax for your Medicare. So why don't we just take it from this offset and have that as tax? So you can, just like the NHS over in England. I have summarised him, paraphrased him. So he is a very socialist ultra billionaire with multiple houses.
With great names.
So he's got nothing to do with fried chicken then?
No, that's Saunders.
No, he stood for the Democratic nomination both last time and this time. And he was absolute favourite of the more socialist. I mean, it's a difficult word now. They don't like the word socialist because they basically think it means communist. But Bernie's a good guy. Think Jeremy Corbyn, but not anti-Semitic, I guess.
Right.
Fair enough. I don't know if this is directed to Lord Sparkles.
It is. Lovely.
There you go. Hope you're happy now, is she?
Well, I hope she is as well.
You may have noticed that scrolling at the bottom of the screen is a little banner talking about how you can help this show. We have a Buy Us a Coffee account. It's at www.buymeacoffee.com/RBSN, Rogers Blue Suede News. You can buy a coffee. The coffee price is set at £2 a cup of coffee, and it helps this show survive. And also, when I receive money, I will distribute it amongst the guests. This is our 11th episode. We've had one show where we've had a contribution, which was actually last week. It was really welcome. It was £6 because someone bought 3 coffees and was able to pay the guests £1.50 each.
Oh, how nice.
So, but if you're watching this on catch up, you can see it at the bottom of the screen, and I'll just repeat it again. It's www.buymeacoffee.com/RBSN. So you can always watch it on catch up if you want to see that again. Alright, let's move on to our next story, which is about COVID finds of the week. Okay, we've got 2 stories here. The first is I can never say Marylebone Station, but Marylebone Station, the workers there had a baby shower in the patisserie Valerie store, which was closed, and it's obviously someone on the station had a key to it, and they had a nice buffet, and about 30 of them attended, and are now all being investigated by the rail company who they work for, because one of them got tested positive for COVID and have all had to self-isolate.
Prats of the week, then.
Definitely Prats of the week. But the picture on the right-hand side, I think, are more utterly stupid. This is police officers who met up at the Chef House Kitchen Cafe in Greenwich, and they were spotted by a member of the public inside the cafe eating breakfast and drinking coffee, took pictures and complained to the police force, and the chief constable actually made a point of fining each of the policemen who was there inside this cafe when they shouldn't have been £200 each. So, have any of you got any stories you want to share on things people shouldn't have been doing during COVID and were doing?
Ooh.
Well, I do think it's quite interesting, Roger, that story that you've highlighted about the policemen having a cafe breakfast, especially after there was a story that hit the headlines about 2 friends that met up in Derbyshire, was it? For a socially distanced walk. And these 2 ladies arrived in separate vehicles and brought their own coffee. And they were then stopped by the constabulary and asked what they was doing, and they said, we've come out for a socially distanced walk, we're in a bubble together. And the police then proceeded to fine them because they brought their own coffee and said you were having a picnic.
Yeah, that was yeah, it has since, that was Derbyshire police, and since they have reviewed those fines and decided they shouldn't have issued them and have apologised.
Which was very good, but there's all this
that stress in the meantime,
all that pressure on us. But going back to this Valerie Patisserie story at Marylebone Station, whatever. So who had a key? Did somebody break in and set up an illegal party then? What went on, Roger?
Well, they don't know how.
Or was it?
There's security on the station have keys to all the places in the station, and the Patisserie Valerie store, I believe they've all closed down, but it wasn't open.
So what did they do? Go in and nick the cakes and then put them in there?
I think they brought their own. I think they brought their own. I'm sure there's signs on the door saying you're not allowed to consume your own food in there, but they took their own cakes and they had a baby shower.
But it's a story that doesn't quite flow. It doesn't make sense. Sort of, why were they in there in the first place? Who did it? You know, it's like
it was workers at the station
in the library with the lamp.
Yeah, it was the people who work at the station.
Right. Okay.
So one of them's had a baby, and they had a baby shower for him.
Aye, and now they've all got like a nice bit of COVID respite to enjoy.
Yep.
I've
So,
got a nice socially distancing funeral story. Not that I know I'm going on about funerals tonight, but I can't do church services, I can't do weddings, but funerals, yeah. I had I knew a lady whose husband died in hospital. It wasn't COVID, and because there was problems with funeral directors and funerals and what was going to go on, she just asked the morgue if they'd keep him in the morgue until we were ready for the funeral, and they did. And on the day, she turned up with her estate car. And the morgue assistants, who were in a bubble, obviously, brought him out in the coffin, put him in the back of the car, and she drove off to the woodland burial ground where we were burying him. And of course, she got stopped by the police. They said, "Where are you going? And what the hell is that in the back of your car?" And she said, "It's my husband. And we're going to the woodland burial place to meet with the vicar, and we're going to bury him." And
Please
they gave
say-
the police.
I was going to say, please say the police actually checked the body to make sure she hadn't murdered him.
No, you actually have to screw down the coffin. You can't check a coffin. I've tried it, trust me. People have actually said to me, "Can you make sure he's dead?" But you can't get in there, because the simple answer is if you've been in a coffin for 4 hours, you're dead, because there's no air. So anyway, so the police gave us an escort to the woodland burial place, and then we had to try and get him out of the back of the car while still socially distancing. So basically we reversed the car up to the grave, and just on either side of it just went heave, bonk. Down he went.
Yeah.
He'd have loved it.
You could have done it a bit easier. Just reverse the car up really fast and slam the brakes on.
Yes, we could have done that. Next time we will. But actually it was very wet and the car might have skidded, and then we would have had really big trouble.
So that's literally like funerals to go.
Oh yeah. I've done one funeral from Devon where the funeral was taking place in Birmingham. They just had me there on Zoom on mobile data.
Fantastic. So let's move on to our last story of this round. This is Kia Jordan. She's from the Isle of Wight, and she'd become the first person in the UK. Does anyone know what she's become the first person in the UK to manage to do?
To listen to Boris Johnson without laughing or throwing up.
No.
That's
Alex?
a clue.
I don't know, because I'm looking through my notes and I'm thinking, I can't even see it there. The first person in the Isle of Wight to get COVID.
No. That's your clue.
What is that? I can't see it.
Shall I bring another clue on the screen? I think Lord
She's the
Sparkles
devil.
actually knows the answer.
She's the
If I-
devil.
Absinthe.
Let's give you another clue.
Was she drunk driving on one of them things?
It's an
Yes.
e-scooter. She's the first person in the UK to be found guilty of drink driving while using an e-scooter.
Fantastic!
And she has received a 2-year driving ban.
Sorry.
Has she passed a driving test?
I think she had, and she's been banned for driving for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I don't think a lot of people realise that if you ride anything with wheels on the road and you're drunk in charge of it, you can be done for drink driving.
You can't be drunk in charge of a horse. At least you probably can, but you get away with it mostly. Because horses don't have wheels, you know.
Yep. And also they probably know their own way home.
Indeed.
So you can probably fall asleep on a horse and you'll still be okay.
Only a very fat horse, otherwise you're going to fall off.
I don't know if that's true. I think if you're in charge of something and you're drunk, then you're in trouble, aren't you?
I think you're
Possibly,
right. But
yeah.
if you're banned from keeping horses for a year, you just save an awful lot of money.
Well, yeah.
So I can't wait until we get fully driverless cars, because we still get done for drink driving if you're not actually driving.
Ooh.
If you're in charge of that vehicle, probably yes, as the law currently stands.
Why would you want a car that just drives for you? That takes away all the fun, Roger.
Yeah.
Takes away all the fun of breaking the rules. I don't mean about drink driving. I might mean about, you know, using speed where necessary. Not on about drugs either.
Here, have you got that shovel for the grave above you?
Can I just interrupt and say a massive thank you to Dave Perry. Dave Perry
What was the drink?
has contributed to the show.
Yay!
Thank you,
Cheers,
Dave. Thank you,
Dave.
Dave, that is so appreciated. It's unbelievable. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. So let's move on to our next round.
I predict a riot!
In this round, I will ask each of our panellists to provide a prediction of something that's going to happen in 2021. This can be someone to add to the Blue Suede News Deadpool, or a prediction of something that's going to happen. Oddly enough, this week we've had our first prediction come true. And the really strange thing is that the person who made that prediction is on the show tonight. Alex English predicted on her last visit to this show that the Glastonbury Festival would not happen. And this week it's been announced the Glastonbury Festival is not happening this year. So well done, Alex. I think she deserves a round of applause for the first prediction to turn out true.
Thank you.
But that doesn't stop the game, so let's go to Lord Sparkles and ask him for a prediction.
I predict that Hull Academy will replace its art staff.
Right.
I don't know how you can verify that.
What will they replace them with?
Owls.
Owls. Diurnal owls.
So let's go to Maggie next. Maggie, have you got a prediction for 2021?
Oh, I've definitely got a prediction. I predict that this year will be the 5th year in a row that I say no to Britain's Got Talent. But on a wider scheme, I predict that Edinburgh rental prices will actually be stable during the month of August and similar to the ones that they are for the rest of the year.
They might actually be lower.
They might. I'll go for that, but they definitely won't go higher this year.
I think that's probably a safe prediction. I actually stopped in Edinburgh last August. Just managed to get a weekend away. And I got a hotel that was a minute's walk from the train station, a Premier Inn, and I paid, I think it was £50 a night for the centre of Edinburgh in August at a weekend. That hotel would normally have been about £200 a night.
Bargain.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me just finish noting down your prediction, Maggie. So, okay. Alex.
I could make another one. I could make really... Okay.
We only have one.
Sparkles.
I thought we had an event and a dead person.
Well, it's up to you. Normally I'd say one or... What's your other one, Maggie?
I predict Kamala Harris will be President of the United States by the end of the year.
I've already said that.
Yeah,
Have
we've
you?
already had that one from Al Grant.
Ah.
So, on an earlier show.
Ah.
Okay, Alex.
So, because I like predictions of dead people. I'm gonna say, and I'm sorry if somebody's already said this already, but I predict the death of Joe Biden.
We've already had that
We've
from
just done
Al
that
Grant.
twice. Yeah.
Okay, well maybe that's a wish pool going on then. We should put it in a wish pool and see see how many wishes we get out of it. So of the events, I go to the events then. I think the Earth is going to get invaded by aliens, and this is a fact because the Daily Star ran a story to say the government has set up elite troop force consisting of 20 men, and they're called the Special Alien Service, that are going to save our asses. And here is the feature. The feature. So my prediction is we're going to get invaded by aliens.
I don't think it is aliens, you know. I think we've got it absolutely all wrong. You know, these slanty eyes and the big heads. It's not aliens, it's elves.
Elves.
Yeah, it's elves, you know, not the sort from Lord of the Rings, the real mean, glamorous, horrible elves. Not aliens, it's elves.
The elves are out to get. Well, somebody's out to get us. So yeah, I'm really sorry that Biden has gone.
Okay, how about we predict that Donald Trump will be in prison by the end of the year?
We've already had that one, I think.
Katie
I've
Brown.
already had that one too. Okay,
Yeah.
very obvious. Okay.
Wow.
So this is going to get hard. I'm going to do this for 2021 up to the middle of the year, and then we'll be predicting for 2022 after
Fine.
that.
Fantastic.
So anyway,
From your
We're coming
£40
on.
Premier Inn.
yeah, we're coming on.
£50.
No, they've gone down
Yeah.
a bit.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a roving report. You know, I'll be with different places in the background each week. Go for a different weekend away when we're able to. So
Is that your new scoop, Roving Roger?
could well be. So let's go to our final round of the show.
Put a plug in it.
In this round, I'm going to ask each of my guests if they want to plug anything. So let's go to Maggy Whitehouse first.
Okay, I'd like to plug my weekly podcast with the local witch, Susie Crockford. It's called Wise Women, the Vicar and the Witch. And we sit and talk about life, the universe and everything, and have very good humoured arguments with lots of cake and tea about the sun, the moon, the earth, the stars, the planets, life, the universe and everything. And we laugh so loud we break the microphone every week. It's called Wise Women, the Vicar and the Witch on Podbean. Thank you.
Superb. Let's go to Alex English. Have you got anything you want to plug?
I'm going to plug Planet Mush website. We do rock reviews and news of bands, not so much about gigs because there isn't any of that happening. And I think you should definitely check out Maggy's podcast and anything that Lord Sparkles has to offer too.
Thank you.
Okay. Actually, I've got to say, Maggy's podcast is great.
Oh, and Roger, not forgetting Roger up there. Sorry, Roger, forgot you.
Oh, thank you very much. I especially love the story in your podcast, Maggy, of it must have happened just round about Christmas time when you're walking your dogs down the country lane singing Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
Scared
And
the
you
living
rounded the
daylights
corner.
out of a courting couple, yes.
In a car.
There they were. They were probably totally illegal. They were probably breaking all the rules, and they were just parked in a little lay-by down the lane. It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm walking the two hounds. The stars come out, and I go, hark the heck! Ah!
So, all right, Lord Sparkles, have you got anything you'd like to plug?
Ooh.
Infinite pain.
Inflate.
Oh,
point,
inflate
paint.
pain.
Inflate
and
and paint.
Oh, can we paint
Yeah.
an owl, please?
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, what is it?
At the
blow
beginning
it-
of the show, I said that I'm a balloon artist. I'm one
Blow balloons
of...
and pain.
Yes, I do.
Cool.
Faces, balloons, that type of thing. If
Are
you
you
just have a
gonna
quick
give us-
search
Demonstration.
afterwards, yeah. It's coming up to 10 o'clock.
Lord Sparkles
So,
will have a
Dong,
very
ding
sexy
dong.
voice afterwards.
If-
Yeah.
I'm sure if you find Inflate and Paint, you'll be able to see some examples.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
How would they find you, Lord Sparkles?
I've used Google.
Yeah.
If you search
can find
for
us all on
inflate
Google.
and paint, all one word, and it is sadly safe for work, which you can find on there.
Well, that's the end of the show. So I'm not going to total up the points because points on this show mean.
Oh!
So I'd like to thank all my guests on the show, Maggy Whitehouse, Lord Sparkles and Alex English. Thank you very much for being guests on the show. Hopefully I'll have you back some point in the near future. And I would also like to thank everybody who has watched the show tonight and for your comments. Thank you very much. And you've been watching Blue Suede News. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next week.